Vanessa, you told me that your sister worked with people that needed dialysis in the home country. And then you had those bag of dirty needles that were marked dirties in the bathroom that only I used. Did you co conspire to get that set up where that group of people from Houston went to Chicago to participate in the ministry that my old friend, who was the padre, was involved with to help immigrants get organ transplants, and then agree to aid and abet them committing fraud, not only in connection with Bank of America, but also Chase Bank, to get my ass back to Houston so that you and your boyfriend could get credit for fucking with me and Allah regarding the Houston Medical Center? See, when I sit there and I say to your husband in front of you, with you there, that I'm concerned that them lying about needing medical treatment instead of taking reports for fraud is a problem that impacts municipal bonds. And he says, no, 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 it has nothing to do with anything. No, there's nothing wrong with these IDs. And then you say to me later, I need to get a job as a server, even though I just told you that my identity documents are fraudulent. While you say you don't need to tell people when you're switching out what you're testing on them regarding vaccines and immunizations. It makes it very difficult later on when these things accumulate and accumulate and accumulate. And my entire fucking life ends up supporting a goddamn attempted coup in another country that you already know is set up for failure. It makes it very difficult for me to not identify you personally as a bioterrorist that infiltrated the fucking medical sector with a bunch of other people and had every intention of murdering people in my country because you never were a part of it. And the problem is, I actually spent a considerable amount of time with people that were immigrants to this country, and I loved them. They were my people. And then you have come and you were born in this country, but you sell out this country to set up a situation in your country back home that is not sustainable. Why weren't you guys at all honest with me? See, because the way I see it, you may have been able to help some people in Venezuela. But how many people in the United States were imported just to be murdered? And you could have stopped it. You and your paramour could actually fucking stopped it if you had been honest. I would have helped you. But it looks like what you did is you set it up to let me stay there only long enough so you could steal my evidence. And then you could put it through whatever the fuck else you were dealing with in order to try to frame me and my people for what you guys already intended to do. And we're several years down the road. And the thing is there's actually a woman who was in the military that got beaten to death as part of this. And I sat there in front of you and I said, I'm concerned that they've set this up, that I'm supposed to be dead, and they're going to murder this other woman. That's what I said to you. You just kept me there long enough to steal my evidence, and then you told me I had to leave. And I'm not dead, but another woman is specifically connected to this specific pattern of name flipping and identity swapping. And you know all about how it works, and so does your husband, because now, right? You know all about how it works, and you knew all about it for the last 15 fucking years, since I was here, since you met, who could have been my husband. You guys knew all about it the whole fucking time. And when I was there, on site, at the table with you, see, you say, well, it wasn't your table. Actually, it fucking was. And now we are where we are. And see, the whole thing was presumably I had to leave and he had to tell me because you were the one with the problem. You guys have been doing this for a long time. You and I have a talk. I respect you as a powerful woman, head of household. But you don't have the fucking balls to tell me yourself what you just did with your invitation to me being on site to be your husband and your cuckold so you can steal my fucking life and do this shit. See, the thing is, I never consummated anything with him, right? And that's a big fucking problem. Are you hoping to cover the losses? You understand? Do you understand? And this is what happens. He's the one who has to tell me to leave. This fits a pattern. Well, my wife doesn't feel comfortable with you here. You have to leave. I have no problem. There's a problem. There's a big problem. And I want your house. I want your literal fucking house in Houston on the street where I had and was supposed to get my driver's license. I was supposed to get my driver's license at that address. I was supposed to get my driver's license with a vehicle. Somebody else was actually going to provide me with the vehicle. You know what? She was a fucking school teacher. It would have been different. But that didn't fucking happen, did it? I want your fucking house, your literal fucking house. I want your house in Houston in my name. You need to fucking get me the deed and title to your fucking house for me personally. You got 1 fucking week.